And we're back with Lord of the Rings Online. Lars is our river hobbit hunter. Level 16 now. Let's jump in and see what we've got to work on. Where were we? Oh, yeah, we were right here.
It pained Celebrimbor to see the woods and fens so ill-treated, but he did not want to harm his alliance with the men of Numenor.
He counseled them to take great care of the land, but his words were not heeded. Galadriel's sorrow became too great, and she turned her attention to Lorelindorian and other distant lands. Celebrimbor gave up the woods as lost, turning all his attention and skill toward mastering his craft together. Celebrimbor and his fellowship of jewelsmiths became the most renowned workers of riches in all of Middle-earth. If they could not halt the slow degradation of land's beauty, they would at least seek to supplement and preserve it through their craft, and so they were ensnared. All right, let's travel. Oh yeah, we did this last time, then we ended here.
I can still see this city as it was, during the height of its beauty. So much was lost.
The Silver Bastion became a shining jewel itself, a beacon of art and music and culture that drew the attention and love of many from distant lands. Caras Celebrind and Mirabel became places of such beauty they recalled the fabled elf halls of old, and trade with Lindon thrived. But not all who watched this from afar watched with friendly eyes. In the land of Mordor, to which he fled following the defeat of his master Morgoth, Sauron seethed. He feared the rising might of Numenor, and despite having drawn orcs and other fell creatures to his service, he knew he did not possess the overwhelming numbers with which his master had dominated the world in past days of triumph. He devised a scheme by which he would use his enemies' weaknesses against them, and so he came to Eregion in fair disguise, masking his true nature.
He called himself Ontheron.
I'm humbled by your presence here, Ontheron. I see in your arrival an omen of good fortune. Accept my greetings and my welcome. You will be honored, my honored guest. Ontheron bows. Ontheron had gone first to Lindon, but Gil-galad mistrusted him and refused to treat with the strange newcomer. It was in Caras Celebrind that the Lord of Gifts found one whose lineage and whose hunger for secret knowledge made him the perfect target for Ontheron's promises. Celebrimbor could not resist, and before long the new arrival became a mentor to him and to the jewelsmiths of Eregion.
Not all who dwelled at Caras Celebrind trusted this new arrival. Celeborn saw something in the Lord of Gifts that troubled him.
Celeborn. Orin, I cannot say why I am so disquieted, Orin. Noril, I share your unease, my lord. The bright company will go wherever you lead. Show us this threat, and we will end it. But that is the heart of the problem, my friend. What is the threat? Back with Bregalith. Though Galadriel had gone, Celeborn remained at Caras Celebrind. As Eregion's chief defender, he refused to abandon these lands and sought instead to protect them against the stranger who had seized Celebrimbor's ear. Ontheron hated the bright company and its deeds, and summoned one threat after another to trouble them. Celeborn and his warriors were often drawn away from the city, and many a noble elf was slain in these engagements. But still the Lord of the Bright Company could not connect these rising threats with the newcomer, Antheron, and his two ready smiles.
Despite the mistrust of some at Celebrimbor's city, Antheron did not remain idle. He gathered to himself promising students and gave to them secret knowledge. But whatever he taught them, always he held something in reserve.
Disapproving elf, suspicious
There
elf,
was more
elf
to be
student.
learned, more instruction to be given.
How will we know we have mastered what thou hast taught us? The most promising among you will know, Narmaleth. The students were not only pupils. As the years passed, Antheron grew more and more brazen. Celebrimbor and his jewelsmiths fell further beneath his thumb, ensnared by his promise of secret knowledge in the working of crafts, both beautiful and powerful. Where are we now? Tham Mirdain. The Jewel Town and the Silver Bastion thrived, and the glory of Celebrimbor and his jewelsmiths only increased year after year. But the true masterpiece of Caras Gelabren was its ring forge.
Antheron convinced the jewelsmith to forge great rings of power. Long they toiled, until at last their work was complete.
Antheron was a set of 7 and a set of 9. You're certain these great rings will help preserve the land? They will help protect the lands of those who wear them, my lord. Celebrimbor gave to the rings of dwarves and men the rings he had made, and for a time he knew peace, not knowing he had been deceived, not knowing that what he had done would nearly undo the world. Shortly afterwards, Antheron departed. He would return to Eregion only once more, and when he did, he would bring death and destruction with him. But after he was gone, Celebrimbor began to doubt. In time, suspicion awakened in his heart, and he began to worry that Antheron had ensnared him by his own greed in some devious scheme. He had decided to use the art he had learned to forge the 3 more great rings. Unknown to the treacherous Lord of Gifts, he believed he and his kinfolk could use these 3 rings for protection should matters go ill. And the fires of doom. Bregalith. Antheron returned to Mordor, and in the heart of his kingdom, he cast aside his fair disguise. He had no more need for deception. In Mordor, the Dark Lord Sauron sought the fulfillment of the scheme for which he had planned, walking unnoticed among his hated enemies for so many years.
You go on ahead. My words will guide you, but I go no further than this.
Yikes. Wow. Yikes. Gotta be hot.
In the fiery heat of Orodruin, Mount Doom, Sauron forged the ruling ring. One ring to rule them all. One ring to bind them. One ring to bring them all. And in the darkness bind them.
Mm-hmm.
In the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie.
All right. That was cool. I hadn't seen that before.
Celebrimbor had kept one of the three for his own.
At the moment that Sauron placed the ruling ring on his own finger, Celebrimbor knew his danger. He removed his ring and vowed to never wear it again, lest his mind be dominated by the Dark Lord. Those of the jewelsmiths who had similarly kept rings were made to give them up, sometimes by force, and the 3 rings were sent in secret to hidden mirrors. Messages were sent to men, dwarves, and elves, in which Celebrimbor admitted his folly and warned of the coming war. So were the folk made ready to defend Middle-earth, but it would not be enough to save Eregion from the ravages of Sauron. The gates of Mordor opened, and the armies of Sauron came forth. He would seize as many of the rings of power as he could find, but the 3 remained hidden to him, and he touched them not. Melandrir has returned from his travels.
The gates of Mordor. The armies of Sauron. What did I miss?
Lars Gagner surely is not as bad as all that. Sauron has been dead for 3,000 years. Today, Mordor is an empty land. Meneldir squints at Bregalith. Sometimes elves have trouble marking the passage of the years. I mean no offense. So, we can, this looks nice. Patched leather jacket. We'll take this.
I returned Tegwin to Mossward.
And while I was unable to coax a promise not to venture again into the wild, his parents gave him enough chores to keep him occupied at least until adulthood, at which point I think our obligation to keep him safe must surely lapse. I swore no oath to the farmers of Swanfleet. Melandir studies your expression and sighs heavily. Dwendil did not speak kindly of me, did he? I am not surprised. Lars Gagner, in my heart I still hold the cause of the Dunedain most dear, but I understand my folk may not believe it, and I cannot deny the breaking my oath. But who is your new friend, and if she hates the Uruks as we do, and is willing to aid us, perhaps she can help us track down several of their leaders. Rumor of 3 such villains has preceded me here, and I cannot help but think the work should go more quickly if we are split up, each of us, to deal with one. Let's open this up. We have a deed bestowed. And a deed completed. Nice. All right. Back to you, Bregalith.
I have hated Orkkind for much longer than you have been alive, Dunedain.
As for the oaths you have taken or broken, I know he to whom you are sworn, or should be. I know what he desires to become. Ask not if I will help you, Ranger of the North. Ask instead if you are strong enough and courageous enough to lend any assistance to Bregalith of Imladris, of which she could have been any need. Bregalith smirks at Meneldir, an amused light dancing in her eyes. The ranger stares back, his mouth open. I will slay one of your Uruk leaders, Meneldir, and Lars Gagner will slay another. Can you be trusted to deal with the third? Show their locations to us on the River Hobbit's map, and we will see it done. Afterwards, we can meet at Idhabul, a camp of my people to the north of here. All right. Well, let's do this. Where are we at? We're here. We need to go up here. Western Eregion. Okay. Should make sure this is on. This drives me crazy. I can't find these usually. I can't find them. I'm just hopeless at this. There's apparently a broken pitcher, like right in front of us. 11 meters. There it is. I don't see it here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Man, these things are hard to find. All right. Well, I think we can travel north there. Up to Western Region.
What can I do for you? Right by that tree, and he just ignores us because we're on a mount. Let's unhook that. Unhook these other ones because they just mislead us.
Alright, hold on a minute. Okay, so let's figure out what's next.
Megavonen.
Oh, we're Kinhen in the right hand's approach. Dwindle and I have been exchanging notes, keeping an eye on the shadows movement on both sides of the Glandwin. It grows and it will continue to grow until light can no longer endure. I'm glad to hear Dwindle has made progress on his investigation of the most recent incursions. This pelt belongs to that of a warg, but the markings are what concerns me. Allow me to examine the pelt further.
For the longest time, I had feared those that served the shadow would soon wake.
I've lost many trying to keep these lands safe. Now I'm afraid the threat is all too real. The pelt you gave me bore a concerning mark. I will need more time to confirm whether my suspicions are true. Meanwhile, my scouts have reported unusual movement at long-forgotten ruins to the west. Wood trolls have made the ruins their new home, and they desecrate the land. Go to Tham with Lagol to the west, and in the wood troll numbers, I should be able to glean more from these markings in the meantime. So we gotta kill 12 wood trolls. Let's unhook that. And let's see. 158 meters that way. Good bite, Irene. Oh, you. What do we have here? Uruk boot print. This boot print remains quite fresh and signals the nearby presence of at least one Uruk warrior. Alright, let's see what we can do. Nice. So level 17. There we go. And so what do we do now? It's a long ways. No, it's only 139 meters. He's there. Wow. Metal deer.
You had success? Those are good tidings.
For it means Saruman now has 3 fewer war leaders commanding his forces in the area. I spoke with Bregalith while we waited for you to return, and she says there is one more location she wants us to investigate, but soon our time together will be ended. Each of us must bring word of Saruman's designs to our chieftains, for they must soon ripen and spell doom for Middle-earth. Bregalith.
Meneldir is right. I must soon return to Imladris with these grim tidings.
Winter is approaching, and I must tell Elrond the winds will blow chill indeed if the wizards have turned against us. Saruman's hand stretches forth to seize dangerous knowledge from the ruins of Eregion, and if the white hand grasp it, who can tell what evils he might next think to accomplish? All right, some new pants.
My people fled north after Karas Galebran was destroyed by Sauron, and his armies pursued them.
The tale of those who stood in his path and fell defying him is elsewhere told, but the defenders of one such place lasted a little longer than any others. At Tham Selashir, the hall of the Swift River, Sauron found his conquest bitterly bought. On a hill to the north, its wreckage still stands. If the Uruk expect to find Ringlore there, they will be disappointed, I think. But that ruin is the last resting place of many of my kin. Did they bring artifacts of power with them during their retreat? I cannot say for certain, but we should make sure little remains of which Saruman and his warriors might make use. After you've done this, return here to Idobel. I think then we must part. And it's a little bit short, but I think we'll wrap up here. Let's get ourselves somewhere where we can be seen. There we go, in the light of the fire. Very good. That's a good shot. All right, thank you all for joining the adventures of Lars Gagner in Lord of the Rings Online. The new 64-bit servers are dropping soon, so we'll be transferring over there shortly, sometime next week, I believe. The 3rd is reservation of names, and I think the 5th is when the server opens. So I'll plan out so I don't miss an episode. Hit the like if you like this content. Subscribing shows support for our channel. We appreciate that, and it's free. And drop a comment. I answer all of them. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and if you can, please take care of someone else. Just a quick update on the schedule for Lars Gagner Linux Gaming. We're going to shift things around a bit. Lorem's been having issues, and so it was just getting too nasty to release. I'm working on getting LOTRO, which is Biggie's lighter version of Lorem, ready to go. So we'll see how that works, and hence the question marks in the evening. What we'll do for now, in the mornings, we'll do Starfield, Reg Gagner, which is my modded Starfield, and then Lars, which is my main playthrough, and then throw in some LOTRO as well. So that'll be 2 times a week for each of those. On Saturday, finishing up with LOTRO. Sunday, again, is grab bag. Either I'll rest and not publish at all, or it'll be a surprise if I put something out. And then in the evening, could be anything. We'll see. We'll see if Skyrim comes back with LOTRO. I might spin up some other Skyrim mod list to be a Wabbajack. We'll see how that goes. It was just nasty. Lorem 3 running on my machine. It was bogging down, and it wasn't publishable. So I'd like to get back to that, but there's a lot of other things I'd like to get going as well. You let me know, and enjoy February. Thank you all for subscribing. We've hit past 140 subscribers, and I'm happy about that. Take care, everybody, and if you can, please take care of someone else.